Hi everybody. Really wanted to share this one with you because I can't help thinking that Manitowoc County should have settled for the 36 million. They would have got off lightly compared with what it's going to cost them this time round, but they weren't to know that making a murder was going to come along and completely expose the corruption there. Just to show you what I'm on about, I mentioned this in a previous video where a policeman was sentenced to a year in prison without the possibility of any probation, so he has to serve the full year. And here's an article about the other people mentioned in this in the article. Two brothers who ended up with 75 million. So yeah, North Carolina jury awards 75 million to brothers wrongfully convicted of 1983 murder. Henry McCollum and Leon Brown spent decades in jail before DNA evidence cleared them of the rape and murder of an 11-year-old girl. This is Henry McCollum. After his release from prison in 2014, he and Leon Brown have been awarded 75 million over their wrongful conviction for a 1983 murder. A jury in a North Carolina federal civil rights case has awarded 75 million to two intellectually disabled half-brothers who spent decades behind bars after being wrongfully convicted in the 1983 rape and murder of an 11-year-old girl. The 8-person jury on Friday decided Henry McCollum and Leon Brown, who are both black, should receive 31 million each in compensation damages, 1 million for every year spent in prison, the News and Observer reported. The jury also awarded them 13 million in punitive damages. The first jury to hear all the evidence, including the wrongfully suppressed evidence, found Henry and Leon to be innocent, found them to have been demonstrably and excruciatingly wronged, and has done what the law can do to make it right at this late date. Raleigh attorney Elliot Abrams said after the trial. Abrams was part of the brothers' legal team. McCollum and Brown have pursued the civil case against law enforcement members since 2015, arguing that their civil rights were violated during the interrogations that led to their convictions. The two were released from prison in 2014 after DNA evidence that pointed to a convicted murderer exonerated them. They were teenagers when they were accused of the crime, which happened in Red Springs in Robeson County. Attorneys for the men have said they were scared teenagers who had low IQs when they were questioned by police and coerced into confessing. What a surprise. McCollum was then 19 and Brown was 15. Both were convicted and sentenced to death. McCollum spent most of his 31 years in prison on death row, becoming North Carolina's longest serving death row inmate. Brown, who the newspaper reported suffers from mental health conditions related to his time in prison and requires full-time care, had his sentence later changed to life in prison. Wow. On Friday, the Robeson County Sheriff's Office, I hope Manitowoc are paying attention to this, one of the defendants settled its part of the case for 9 million. The town of Red Springs, originally named in the civil suit, settled in 2017 for $1 million. Friday's judgment came against former SBI agents Leroy Allen and Kenneth Sneed, who were both part of the original investigation. Scott McGlatchy, the lead defense attorney for the SBI agents, attempted during his closing argument to cast doubt on the brothers' innocence, the newspaper reported, despite the fact that they had received full pardons of innocence. I've got my freedom, McCullin said. There's still a lot of innocent people in prison today, and they don't deserve to be there. Wow. The Sheriff's Department had to pay up $9 million. Good on them for taking the Sheriff's Department to task over it. And of course, the county has already paid out $1 million. Wow. Okie dokie. That's great news for those two. Obviously, wrongly accused, coerced into confessing. You know, we just see it over and over and over again. You know, people just don't care. The lives of innocent people doesn't care to these people. It's all about their jobs, their security, you know, and them getting on in their careers, and they don't care who they trample on along the way. Anyway, let's hope it's not long before Manitowoc County are having to face up to even larger payments to both Steve and Brendan. Anyway, thought I'd share that with you. Thought it was quite interesting. Once again, catch you all soon. Bye for now.